you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the show where we are always striving to find the most obscure answers. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, my name's Emma. I'm from Dunstable, and this is my boyfriend Toby, and he's from Isfield in East Sussex.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Ginny, and this is my husband Paul, and we're from Kimbolton in Cambridgeshire.
Couple number three.
Hello, I'm Teresa, this is my husband Nick, and we're from Bath.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Cassie, this is my mum Kath, and we're from Newport in South Wales.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you all very much. Lovely to have you all here. A very warm welcome to the show. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. Approach him slowly, lest he be startled and skitter back into the undergrowth. It's my pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya, everybody. Good afternoon. Yeah, good luck me hiding in the undergrowth. Now...
Overgrowth.
The overgrowth is what I'm going to need. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
One returning pair, Cassie and Kath, welcome back on podium 4 again as well. So 3 brand new pairs. It's nice, isn't it?
It is nice.
Don't know who they are yet. Don't know what stories are going to emerge.
Yeah. OK, now, Hanifa and Tahira made it through to the final last time. Failed, I'm afraid, to win the jackpot, which means we're adding another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £2,000. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Just so we're all on the same page, remember it is the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that will be eliminated. Keep your scores as low as you dare, and everything will be fine. Best of luck to all 4 pairs. Our first category this afternoon is solar energy. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what that question is going to be. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries with the highest solar power production capacity as they could.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 65 leading countries in the world in solar power production. So any of the top 65 countries in the world which produce the most solar power, according to the International Renewable Energy Agency in 2019. Nothing off-grid.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, Toby, we come to you. Welcome to Pointless, by the way, first off. Toby, tell us all about yourself.
Well, I've just graduated from university.
Congratulations.
Right now, I'm working on a golf course as a greenkeeper.
Wonderful. What would you like to go for?
I'm just going to say something that's pretty sort of highly advanced country in the hope that that's the right sort of way to go. And I'm thinking Scandinavia, and I'm going to say Denmark. Denmark,
yes, says Toby. Oh, Ginny's furious about that. Oh, Ginny clearly had Denmark down. You're going to go for Denmark?
Yes.
Let's just see if that... I mean, that must surely be a correct answer. Let's find out. Is it right? How many people said Denmark? It's right. Look at that, down to 12. Very well done indeed, Toby. Good answer. Great start to the round.
A notoriously sunny place, Denmark. Yeah, they produce 998 megawatts of solar energy, which is enough to power 300,000 kettles. A lot of, though, if you're in a hot country, I don't know what you got your kettle on for.
Yeah.
You know, you're not making a cuppa, are you?
You're not. That's a very good point.
You need an anti-kettle or a fridge, as I call it.
Oh. Thank you very much. OK, now then, Ginny, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here from Kimbolton.
Thank you.
Tell us all about yourself.
So I'm recently retired as a head teacher. Although we don't actually call it retirement, it's a very delayed gap year and a very stretched out gap year.
Good, a gap decade, let's call it. How exciting. Now, Ginny, yes, what's it going to be?
So I'm going to go just south of Denmark. I'm going to go to Germany.
Germany, says Ginny. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Germany. Germany's also right. That goes to 54.
Yeah, over 45,000 megawatts of solar energy. And that, unless I don't need to tell you, is enough power for 30 million people to be doing the ironing at the same time. Or 18 million if they're using a steam iron, which uses more electricity. You would think if it was a steam iron, it would use less electricity because of the steam.
Because it'd be steam powered.
Because steam trains use less electricity than electric trains. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
So how is that different to irons?
I don't know.
What are the steam iron industry doing?
What are
a
they?
rip-off.
That's just...
What are we doing? Paying twice? Paying for the steam and the electric? Yeah. Nice.
Thank you very much. Now then, Teresa.
Hello.
Welcome to Pointless. Here from Bath. How lovely.
From Bath, yeah.
Tell us all about yourself.
Retired, sort of, more or less retired, but I'm lucky enough, I still work in the art gallery in Bath. We've got a beautiful art gallery there, and so I work there occasionally when they need extra help and when there are big exhibitions coming on. So I do that, but busy with other things as well.
That's very lovely. How exciting. Wonderful. Teresa, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for something that's perhaps a bit obvious, but I don't want to take a chance. I'm going to say Spain.
Spain, says Teresa. OK, well, our scores so far are 12 and 54. Where will Spain end up on that spectrum? Well, it is right. That's the first thing. Well, a little bit less than Germany. Quite a lot more than Denmark is the answer to that. 51.
7,000 megawatts. That's enough to power 4 million single-room air conditioners.
That's true.
It's weird, though, that you're using the sun to cool down the sun.
Does the sun even know that's what it's doing?
But why not cut out the middleman? Stop the effects of the sun in the first place.
Yeah.
With a well-positioned shade.
Yes.
Parasol, say.
Yes. Sometimes under the parasol, it still gets quite hot.
Not if you have a single-room air conditioner under your parasol.
Thank you, Richard. There we are. Problem solved. Kath, welcome back. Lovely to have you here again. Remind us all about yourself, Kath.
I'm a part-time supply teaching assistant, and I have a little bit of a thing on... I like watching weird YouTube programmes.
Oh, I'm treading carefully here, Kath, but...
I like to watch people doing the JCB digging. And...
So far, it's fine. So far. Keep going.
I watch this guy, he's from America, and he digs out ponds and lakes and adds gravel, and I find it fascinating. It's not even about the guy, it's about the machine.
Did they do it sort of stop frame so it's a bit sped up?
No, the camera's behind him, and we're just sitting in the cab with him while he's doing it. So the arm is just doing this.
You want to get a job on a building site. They literally would pay you for that. How long does each one of these last?
About 20 minutes.
Wow.
Sad.
It's exciting.
Yes.
Anyway. Kath, what are you going to go for?
I've thought about this, and I've got two in my head, and I'm not sure whether to take a chance or go with something which is definite. But I'm going to go with United Arab Emirates or UAE.
United Arab Emirates?
Yes.
OK, let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said United Arab Emirates. It is right. Now, 54 is the high score, and you pass it. 12 is our low score, and you pass it. Down to 10. Very well done indeed, Kath. Very well done indeed. United Arab Emirates.
594 megawatts from the United Arab Emirates. Very hot, but very small country, I suppose. Enough to power 300,000 electric lawnmowers, which they don't use a lot.
They don't use a lot over there,
UAE.
no, to be fair. They don't.
Some places they do.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 10, the best score of the past. Kath, very well done to you. Travelling up to 12, where we find Toby and Emma. Then up to 51, where we find Teresa and Nick. Then up to 54, where we find Ginny and Paul. We're coming back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, Cassie, remember we are looking for the countries that produced over 100 megawatts of solar power in 2018.
I'm just going to say Italy.
Italy?
Yeah.
OK, why not? Let's see what happens when we say Italy. Here is your red line. You've done it. Look at that, very well done indeed. 33 takes your total up to 43.
Yeah, 20,000 megawatts from Italy. That's enough to power 20 million coffee makers, like on all year, which would be enough to produce 4 trillion cups of coffee.
And the Italians would enjoy that.
Yeah.
They'd put that to good use.
4 trillion is a lot.
It's a lot. Thank you, Richard. Now, Nick, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Nick.
I'm a retired property developer.
Did you develop property in the Bath area?
I didn't. I wouldn't dare touch Bath.
I was going to say.
It's perfect as it is.
Yes, where did you develop your property?
I worked for an energy company, in fact, and they had lots of... I know.
I know.
I know.
What about that? Yes, they had lots of...
surplus property, and my job was to make as much money out of it as I could.
But you've stopped doing that now. What do you do? What keeps you busy now?
Well, I go ballroom dancing with Teresa.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Of course. If you win the jackpot, maybe you could do a little pas de deux.
Our double reverse spin.
Steady now. Yeah, we could do a bit of that. I know we'd all love to see that. Anyway, let's see.
So would I.
Let's see how the game goes. Nick, what are you going to go for? You're on 51. A target of 2 at this stage keeps you in the game. 2 or less.
I'm going to take a chance and go for Mexico.
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 Very good. Mexico. Mexico. Let's see. I know. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There is your red line, quite low. It's right. Down it goes to 20. Very good indeed. Taking your total up to 71. I think you've done enough.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm watching the guy digging a lake. He is. I'm so sorry. What were you?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Mexico, yeah, 2,500 megawatts. Yeah, sorry, I'll be...
Enough to power...
Good. Oh, 8 million flat-screen TVs.
Thank you very much. OK, now... So, Paul.
Hi.
Paul, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I'm a retired man of many jobs.
Go on, talk us through the jobs.
Well, I finished as the local postman. I've worked in a donut company. I was a financial advisor. I've been a building society manager. And I was also a house husband when my lovely wife went back to work.
The donut one sounds really good.
That was the least interesting.
Yeah,
of them
I actually
all,
think it probably was, yeah. The postman, how long were you being postman?
I was a postman for about 12 years in the end, just before I retired.
Wow. Now, Paul, 54 is where you find yourself. You have to score 16 or less.
Right. Well, bearing in mind I played football in Denmark in the 70s and I had that similarly to Ginny, I'm going to punt for Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, says Paul. OK, here is your red line. You have to get below that red line. Let's find out. How many of our 100 people said Saudi Arabia? It is right. And you've done it. And you've done it. 7. Very well done indeed. 61 is your total.
Yeah, only 139 megawatts from Saudi Arabia. I guess they've got other things they use for energy.
Yes,
over
I
there.
suppose.
Yeah, that's only enough to power 30 million domestic water softeners.
Hang on, why does that... That doesn't need electricity, does it?
What, a water softener?
No.
How are you softening water?
With a towel. I don't know.
You're thinking of a water dryer.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm blinding you with science here. But yes.
OK.
There we go. Emma, welcome to Pointless.
Thank you.
Tell us all about yourself, Emma.
So I'm a recent graduate from university as well, and
Excellent.
I currently work at a zoo.
How exciting. Which bit of the zoo?
With the people, I'm afraid, not the
Oh,
animals.
the deadliest
as
of all
fun,
the
yes,
things on
exactly,
display.
yeah.
Yes, the people. Oh, dear. Yeah. OK, now, Emma, you're on 12. A fabulous low score from Toby in the first pass. 58 or less gets you into the next round.
Yeah.
What are you going to go for?
Well, I was going to go for Denmark as well, but you stole that from everyone. So I'm thinking I'm going to play it fairly safe because I've got a bit of room. I'm going to go for France.
France.
Yeah.
Says Emma. OK, here is your red line. Can you get below that red line with France? Is it safe enough?
Hopefully.
How many of our 100 people said France? You see, it's right. You've done it. Just. You see? Not safe. Not safe by any means. That takes your total up to 69. You're through by the skin of your teeth.
Boy, that was close. 9,500 megawatts. It's enough for every single person in France to be playing a video game at the same time all year. Just with the power of the sun.
Power of the sun.
Now, shall we take a look at some pointless answers? I'll do some low scorers first, actually. You would have got 1 point for Bangladesh, for Bulgaria, Hungary, Luxembourg. How are Luxembourg doing that? It's impressive. Malaysia, Philippines, Slovakia, Slovenia, and Sri Lanka. All of those were one-pointers. But here's the pointless answers. You could have had Belarus, Dominican Republic, Guatemala. I can't believe no one said Guatemala. Honduras, Jordan, Kazakhstan. You could have said Malta, Panama, Uruguay. You also could have had El Salvador, Romania, Senegal, and Yemen. Those are the pointless answers. Very well done if you said one of those. Do you know which country in the world produces the most solar energy?
Russia.
China.
China.
They have 145 million electric toasters simultaneously all year from Chinese solar energy.
Wow. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, we are at the end of our first round. And the pair we have to send home with their high score of 71. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick and Teresa. That's a real shame. Anyway, we'll see you again next time. We look forward to that very much indeed. But meantime, thank you so much, Nick and Teresa.
Thank you.
But for the remaining three pairs, it is now time for round two. There we are, down to three pairs. Well done, everybody. Made it through to round two. Paul, hats off to you, our lowest individual scorer in that round. Very, very strong performance there. And Cassie and Kath, our lowest combined scorers. So very, very well done to you. Best of luck to all three pairs. Our category for round two today is political names. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. And the question concerns things that share their name with surnames of US presidents. Richard.
Yeah, simply 6 clues on each board to people or things that share their names with the surname of a US president. So 12 in all to have a go at home.
Oh, this is fun.
That's fun.
This is going to be fun. OK, so we are looking for the answers to these definitions. They also happen to be the surnames of US presidents. And we have got on our first board a playing card of a chosen suit which can win a trick where a card of a different suit has been led. Type of track cycling relay race that takes its name from the New York venue where it was first held. Surname of aviator who became the first woman to fly solo to Australia. Cat in the eponymous Jim Davis comic strip who has a penchant for eating lasagna. First name of author Capote, who wrote the novel In Cold Blood. And the first name of the US singer who had a UK #1 album in 2014 entitled 1989 after her birth year. I'll read those very quickly again. A playing card of a chosen suit which can win a trick where a card of different suit has been led. Type of track cycling relay race that takes its name from the New York venue where it was first held. Surname of aviator who became the first woman to fly solo to Australia. Cat in the eponymous Jim Davis comic strip who has a penchant for eating lasagna. First name of author Capote, who wrote the novel In Cold Blood. And first name of the US singer who had a UK #1 album in 2014 entitled 1989 after her birth year. There we go. Emma, over to you.
OK, this is not a very good round for me. Not good in politics. I know two of them. I think I'm going to go for the first name of the US singer who had a hit in 2014 with Taylor.
Taylor,
Yep.
says Emma. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Taylor. Down it goes to 17. Very well done. Very strong start to the round, Emma.
Yeah, and Zachary Taylor being the US president.
Thank you very much. So, Paul. Paul.
Hi. Well, I'm struggling here, I'm afraid, Alexander. I am going to have to go with the only one that I know, which is the top one, and unfortunately, I think quite a few people will know that it's Trump.
Trump, says Paul. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Trump. It's right. "24. Not bad. As it turns out, not bad at all. 24 for Trump.
Yeah, Judd Trump, the world snooker champion who became president of the United States. That was a weird week, wasn't it?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah. Very peculiar, with Ronnie O'Sullivan as his vice president.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Kath. Do you feel like talking us through the board?
No. I think the only one that I can talk you through would be the fourth one down.
Yep.
And I'm going to say confidently, Garfield.
Garfield. OK, now then, let's see how many of our 100 people said Garfield. It's right. 48 for Garfield.
Yeah, James Garfield being that president, and Jim Davis, who wrote that strip, his grandfather was called James Garfield Davis, so he named it after his grandfather.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice, isn't it?
Very nice indeed.
Let's look through the rest of these, shall we? The type of track cycling, do you know that? If you watch the Olympics, you'll know it's one of the unusual ones. Madison.
Ah.
James Madison.
Yeah.
That will score you 6 points. Surname of the aviator is...
Johnson.
Johnson, yeah. Amy Johnson. Would have scored you 19. And the first name of Capote?
Truman.
Truman. Of course, Harry S. Truman being the president. 33 points for that. Best answer on the board, Madison.
Thank you, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 17, the best score of the pass, Emma. Very well done to you. 24 is where we find Paul and Ginny. And then up to 48, which is where we find Kat and Cassie. So a little bit ahead there. Cassie, let's hope there's a lovely one on the next board that you and not many others know. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 6 more clues up on the board, and here they are. We have got the 1981 comedy film starring Dudley Moore as the title character, surname of Rita, who sang the theme to the 1983 Bond film Octopussy, a shallow place in a river or stream allowing one to walk or drive across, verb meaning to make a hole in something using a sharp object, West London suburb whose non-league team merged with Yeading FC in 2007, and someone who traditionally transported goods by wagon or other horse-drawn vehicle. I'll read those one last time. 1981 comedy film starring Dudley Moore as the title character, surname of Rita, who sang the theme to the 1983 Bond film Octopussy, a shallow place in a river or stream allowing one to walk or drive across, verb meaning to make a hole in something using a sharp object, West London suburb whose non-league team merged with Yeading FC in 2007, and someone who traditionally transported goods by wagon or other horse-drawn vehicle. There we go. Cassie, that's what you got to play with. We need a low score from you.
I'll go with the first one. Big.
That'd be such a good name for a present. Big. OK, let us see. There's no red line for you, I'm afraid, as you're the high scorers. How many of our 100 people said big? I'm sorry, Cassie. I'm sorry, it's an incorrect answer. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 148.
Could happen, couldn't it? It's a surname.
You'd be Mr. Big before that.
Or Mrs. Big.
Or Mrs. Big, exactly, yes.
But, yeah, not, I'm afraid, that's not that film. Or a president.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Ginny. Ginny, you're through to the head-to-head, by the way, which is good news. That takes the pressure off.
I'm going to go for the second one down, which I believe was Rita Coolidge.
Coolidge, says Ginny. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Coolidge. Coolidge is right. Down, that goes to 14. Very well done indeed. 38 is your total.
Yeah, Rita Coolidge is absolutely right. And Calvin Coolidge, of course, being the president. And the Coolidge is America's best-selling single-room air conditioner.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Toby.
Yes.
Also through to the head-to-head, even before you give your answer, which is good news.
Yes, very good news. Because I don't know a lot. I know probably more than I did on the last board.
And do you want to go through the board and just...
Top one, I don't know. All I know is it's probably not big. The third one also, I feel like I should know, but I don't. The verb I think is pierce, but I'm not going to go with that. I think the bottom one as well might be Carter, but I'm going to go for the second bottom. My knowledge of West London suburbs isn't good, neither is my knowledge of presidents, but hopefully, non-league football, I think it's Hales.
Hales.
Yes.
Hales, says Toby. OK, no red line, you're already through. How many of our 100 people said Hales? I was just going through and I'm thinking, it's feasible, but I'm afraid not. No, it scores you 100 points, takes the total up to 117, but you're through. It's fine.
Yeah, pretty close. You obviously knew the answer. It's Hayes. Hayes and Yedding, and Rutherford B. Hayes, the US president. And it's the best answer up there, would have scored 5 points. You were right about a couple of the others. You're right about Carter. Down the bottom there would have scored you 18 points. Jimmy Carter, of course. You were right as well about Pierce, Franklin Pierce. Would have scored you 23. The Shallow Place?
Ford.
Ford, yeah. Gerald Ford. 45 for that. And the comedy film is not big. It's
Arthur.
Arthur. Chester A. Arthur. 35 points for that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, that brings us to the end of our second round, which means once again I have to say goodbye to a pair. And Cassie and Kath, I'm so sorry. We've got to say goodbye to you. It's been such a treat having you here. Thank you so much, Cassie and Kath. Wonderful. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it is now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Paul and Ginny, Emma and Toby. You're now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,000. But it's the head-to-head, which means you're now allowed to chat before we give your answers, and the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Well, 2 new pairs.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So whoever gets beaten's coming back.
Yeah. This is going to be very, very hard fought. I think very, very best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is the first question, and it concerns estuary birds. Richard.
Yeah, pictures now 5 species of birds you might find on the Thames estuary. I'm going to give you alternate letters of their names as well, but what are these birds?
Thank you very much indeed. Can you identify these 5 birds? And here they come. We have got A, O-S-E-C-T-H-R. B, D-N-I. C, S-N-E-L-N. D, G-E-P-O-E. And E, T-A. There we are. 5 estuary birds. Paul and Ginny, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first. Feel free to confer.
Oyster catcher.
The
last one is T.
OK. Paul and Ginny.
Well, I think, Alexander, we will go for A, which we believe is an oyster catcher.
Oyster catcher, say Paul and Ginny. Now then, Emma and Toby. Oh, you had that one, did you?
No.
Oh, right. There was a sort of pained look as they said oyster catcher. I
Well,
thought,
it just looks like it's right.
Yeah,
so.
we're not going to beat that.
No.
Right. Do you want to talk us through the others at all?
No.
The first word in D is probably grey.
Grey. Yeah, OK. We'll work with that.
I can't figure out what the second word is, and that's all I can give you.
Boner. Grey pioneer. Does that work? No, it's not enough letters.
Letter missing. I don't know. We'll wing it. We'll go with... I'll go grey phony.
Grey phony.
Yeah, for D.
It's not really a bird at all. It's actually a dog.
Yep.
OK, so we have oyster catcher and the grey phony. Paul and Ginny went for oyster catcher for A. Let's see how many of our 100 people said oyster catcher. It's not bad. It's right at least. 46. Emma and Toby, the grey phony for D. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the grey phony. It's a good name, though. Well done, Paul and Ginny. After one question, you're up 1-0.
I mean, it fits beautifully. It does that. It's not the grey phony. Do you know that one? It's the grey plover.
Yes. Yeah.
It's called the grey plover because it loves grapes. Grey plover.
Great.
Never thought of that before. Shall we fill in the rest?
Yes.
B is the Dunlin. Would have scored you 20 points. Do you know C?
Oh, it's a sand something, isn't it? It's a sand...
Sanderling.
Sanderling. All right.
That would have scored you 10 points. And the biggest answer on the board is the last one.
Teal.
Teal. And that would have scored you 48.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, now here comes your second question. Emma and Toby, you have to win this one to stay in the game, so good luck with that. Our second question today is all about dukes and duchesses. Richard.
Yep, simply 5 clues now to facts about dukes and duchesses, but can you give us the most obscure answer?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 ducal clues, and here they are. True Grit actor who was born Marianne Morrison and nicknamed Duke. Dramatist who wrote the 17th century play The Duchess of Malfi. Number of men marched to the top of the hill by the Grand Old Duke of York in the popular nursery rhyme. First name of the Russian Grand Duchess who is rumoured to have survived after the fall of the Romanov Empire. And the singer-songwriter who had a UK #2 single in 1977 with Sir Duke. I'll read those one last time. True Grit actor who was born Marianne Morrison and nicknamed Duke. Dramatist who wrote the 17th century play The Duchess of Malfi. Number of men marched to the top of the hill by the Grand Old Duke of York in the popular nursery rhyme. First name of the Russian Grand Duchess who is rumoured to have survived after the fall of the Romanov Empire. And the singer-songwriter who had a UK #2 single in 1977 with Sir Duke. Emma and Toby will go first. OK, Emma and Toby.
I think we're going to go for the first name of the Russian Grand Duchess as Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Yeah.
Say Emma and Toby. Anastasia. So, Paul and Ginny, it's over to you. Can you fill in the rest of those blanks?
The True Grit actor was John Wayne. I should know the Duchess of Malfi because I remember studying it at school, but can't remember. The number of men is 10,000, and the singer-songwriter is Stevie Wonder. We're going to go for Stevie Wonder.
OK, Stevie Wonder. So we have Anastasia and we have Stevie Wonder. Emma and Toby went for Anastasia, the name of the Grand Duchess. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. It is right. And down that goes to 28. Not bad. Paul and Ginny, meanwhile, have gone for Stevie Wonder, the artist who had a hit with Sir Duke. How many of our 100 got Stevie Wonder? It's right. Always going to be close. Oh, and it wins. Look at that, 19 for Stevie Wonder. Very well done indeed. Which means, Paul and Ginny, after only 2 questions, you are straight through to the final 2-0.
Yeah, wonderful song as well, Sir Duke. It's a tribute to Duke Ellington, lots of other jazz greats as well. You're right about John Wayne up the top there. You did well to avoid him, though. Would have scored you 49 points. You did well as well to avoid 10,000 men, if you know what I mean, because that would have scored you 75. The best answer on the board is the dramatist who wrote The Duchess of Malfi.
Webster.
Webster, yeah, John Webster. Yeah. And that would have scored 11 points. Well done if you said that at home.
Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, it's Emma and Toby. But it's not that sad, because we're going to see you again next time, which is fine. You know, you've done so well today. We've got to expect the same next time, and maybe you can take it one notch further. Who knows? But in the meantime, thank you very much indeed, Emma and Toby.
Thank you.
Right, for Paul and Ginny, it is now time for our Pointless Final. Congratulations, Paul and Ginny. You have seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £2,000. Lovely to have you in the final, and richly deserved. You played very well across the show. What do you want to see come up in this last round?
Well, for me, it's probably royalty or history.
OK, Paul?
And probably I'd go down the sporting route.
OK, well, I mean, both reasonable things to expect to see on this board, or hidden somewhere behind one of the things on this board. Let's see what we've got for you today. Films about rock music, the year 1960, equestrian sport, prize-winning female authors.
OK, so we did say that we'd avoid films. We don't know enough about films, do we, really?
Yeah, 1960, we were just about born.
Yeah, yeah. Equestrian sport, it's not really a...
No, I think we've got to go films about rock music.
Really? OK,
The
go
year
on.
1960?
That's what I'd be going for.
Go on, year 1960.
Year 1960.
OK, the year 1960.
Hey, very best of luck. Questions in 3 different areas here. We're looking for the name of any actor who appeared in the first ever episode of Coronation Street, which was in 1960. We're looking for the name of any acts that had a UK #1 single in 1960, according to officialcharts.com. Or we are looking for any GB medalist at the 1960 Summer Olympics. So any cast member of the first episode of Coronation Street, acts with the UK #1 single, or GB medalists. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win the jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. You don't have to answer all 3 categories. Just focus on whichever category you like the look of. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
OK, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Right, Coronation
so
Street.
Ken Loach, was it? Ken Roach, rather. But
too
that
obvious.
won't be. And then Hilda Ogden, who played her, and Ina Sharples. Oh, gosh, I should know their names.
So, #1 singles.
Yeah.
1960s. You've got to go for someone like, was Cliff Richard around by then? What about
Bit
Lonnie
early for
Donegan?
him. Oh, Lonnie Donegan sounds
Did he
good
have a
one to me.
#1? He's got to be old enough
No
to do
idea,
that.
no
Or
idea, but-
Matt Munro or
Oh, yes,
Or,
yes, good idea. Oh, bit early for
Engelbert
him, probably.
Humperdinck or-
Early for them, I think.
someone like that.
Paul
27.
Anka, or an
Right, so we've got-
American.
what about Summer Olympics? Anita Lonsborough, was she? Lonsborough, she was... And
who was the...
Mary
North-
Rand was later, wasn't
Right,
she?
yeah.
Was she 60s?
10 seconds left.
60s. So we've got to go for #1 singles.
Yeah,
So we
okay.
go for... Should we try Lonnie Donegan?
Lonnie Donegan, Paul Anka.
Paul Anka and
OK.
Matt Munro.
That is your time
Okay.
up. What are you going to give me?
We're going to go for 3 in the middle category, please.
OK,
Alexander.
#1 singles in the year 1960.
We're going to go for Matt Munro,
Matt Munro,
Lonnie Donegan.
Lonnie
Donegan,
Donegan,
and
Paul
Anka.
Anka.
and Paul Anka. Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer, do you think?
I think Paul Anka.
Okay,
OK,
Paul
Paul
Anka.
Anka we'll put last.
Okay.
Least likely to be
I
pointless.
think Lonnie Donegan.
OK,
because I have a
Lonnie
feeling
Donegan,
it's
we'll
not-
put him
I
first.
can't believe it's right.
And then Matt Munro goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got Lonnie Donegan, we've got Matt Munro and Paul Anka. Well, 3 nice-looking answers on the board there. I mean, are they right? Who knows? Only one of them has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. 2,000 quid would be quite a nice thing to take back to Cambridgeshire. What would you like to do with it? Paul, I'm going to ask you first.
Well, I haven't told my wife yet, but I'm just 60, so I'd quite like a tattoo.
That's fun. Where, just because we need to ask this, Paul, where were you thinking of getting the tattoo?
I hadn't thought it through that far yet.
I would suggest Coventry. There is some spectacular nodding going on from Ginny here. Going,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Go
We
on.
might talk
Yeah.
about this maybe later. Ginny, do you want to have a moment's thought? Just think of what you want to spend your money
My
on.
answer is so pedestrian after that.
Yeah.
But I bake. I bake all the bread that we eat. And what I would really like to do is learn how to make... sorry, it's gone. I would like learn...
It's gone?
It's
Yeah, so easy. That's easy.
do those. I would like to make sourdough bread. I've had a go at it, and it's always come out sour but flat. So I'd
Flat.
really like to learn how to make
Yeah,
sourdough.
you need about 6 days of getting the culture. Oh, what fun. Well, listen, let's hope. I'd love it if one of these answers allowed both of those things to happen. OK, your first answer was Lonnie Donegan. Now, in all 3 cases, we're looking for acts that had a UK #1 single in 1960. Lonnie Donegan's your first answer. If Lonnie Donegan is pointless, you leave here with £2,000. How many people said Lonnie Donegan? Is it right? is right. Lonnie Donegan is right. I feel invested in this. Down we go, through the 20s, into the teens, into single figures with Donegan still going down. Oh, it's 3. Oh, wouldn't that have been great? Very good indeed. Well, that's looking good for the others. Matt Munro is your next answer again. Same criteria. We're looking for acts that had UK #1 in 1960. If Matt Munro's pointless, £2,000 is yours.
Thought so was a bit later.
Oh, bad luck. Not Matt Munro. So we turn to your banker, as it were, Paul Anker, that you put there. Let's find out if that is pointless for £2,000. Again, we're looking for artists who had a UK #1 in 1960. Paul Anker, is it right? Is it pointless? No! Oh, bad luck, I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Well, 3 good shots there. One of them turned out to be a brilliant answer. But much more than that, we all got to hear for the first time what Paul secretly wants to do, which is I feel very privileged to have been there. You didn't find a pointless answer, so I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot. That'll roll over onto the next show. But you do get to take home a pointless trophy each, so very well done for that. Lovely to have you here.
Yeah, it was a sterling effort. Very well done. Lonnie Donegan, a good answer. The other two, exactly the right vintage. Matt Munro never had a #1 single.
Oh.
Seems incredible to me. Anita Lonsbury, you were thinking of saying for the Olympic one, she did win a medal, scored 1 point. So listen, it would have been exciting for us, but would have been awful for you. You'd have been so close to that tattoo. And yet, so far. Let's take a look at the Coronation Street cast first. Anne Cunningham, Jack Howarth, Maudie Edwards, Philip Lowry. You could have had Alan Rothwell, Betty Alberge and Patricia Shakespeare as well. Those were the pointless answers there. William Roach was the highest scorer. And Ina Sharples with Violet Carson, who would have scored you 14 points. Next category is acts that had a UK #1 single. Anthony Newley, Eddie Cochran, Johnny Kidd and the Pirates, Ricky Valance as well. Cliff Richard, who you mentioned, did have a #1, 24 points he would have scored. Elvis was the biggest scorer of all. And finally, those medalists, David Broom, the show jumper, Dorothy Shirley, the high jumper, Natalie Stewart, swimmer, and Richard McTaggart, who won bronze in the boxing. Top scorers, Don Thompson, Dorothy Hyman. Very well done if you said any of those at home.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard, and thank you, Paul and Ginny. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show, when we will be playing for £3,000. Join us then, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.